We knew some friends that just moved off their boat and they loaned us this Engel. Their fan's not working, and I'm going to put a new fan in for them before we return it. We had a little fridge problem. Turned out to be absolutely nothing, but I mean, seriously, I turned it off, I turned it on again. It was fine. But you don't know, and it was late at night, and we knew some friends that just moved off their boat, so we made a quick call, and they loaned us this Engel because they weren't using it, and we moved all of our frozen food into it, slept well. Next morning, I fixed the problem. Well, their fan's not working, and I'm going to put a new fan in for them before we return it, so they'll get a little better product after I borrowed it. This is an Engel. It has what's called a swing compressor. That part pumps the fluorocarbons up to high pressure and makes them really hot. Then it goes through this part, and that lets it cool off. Then it goes up into the main cavity where it is allowed to expand to low pressure, and that makes it really cold. And then it comes back and repeats the process. That's all there is to fridge. If you want to know more about fridge, I've got a whole video series on it. That's the fan that's not working. So the first thing I'm going to do is fire it up and put some voltmeter probes in here and find out what voltage this fan is getting fed, or any at all, because it could be a problem with the power supply. But I'm assuming it's the fan because fans fail. And then I'll replace the fan with one I have in stock, and they will be ever so slightly happier in their life. It's probably my favorite meter right now. I like the clamp on when I need amps, but this one's real accurate, and it's a fluke, and they're usually crazy expensive. But I found one that was destined for the Asian market. We put it in our Amazon store, and it's not terribly expensive. You get a lot of meter for the money when you go this way. .7 volts. So that's a 12-volt fan.
So it is getting power.
It's getting power.
So the fan's busted.
The fan's busted. No big deal. We'll put a new fan in. Now I gotta find a fan. It's a 24-volt fan. Nope. They've got it set up just to run slow on a 24-volt fan. But maybe I've got a very low flow 12-volt fan that'll do the same final answer. So I'm looking for, since this is 24 volt, 15 amps, at 15 volts, relatively speaking, if we just turn it all into watts, it would be, a 12 volt equivalent would probably be something like 8 milliamps, 10 milliamps. I'll see if I have a fan that small.
And while Clark is looking for a fan, I am dusting this out because this hair and lint is not helping dissipate heat very much. It's actually sort of insulating.
Ah, they're fine. Oh, score! Found a fan. It's actually 24 volt. It's a little smaller than what they have now, but since what they have now doesn't turn, it's a lot more. And I think that's the same plug, so this is going to be a nothing project. I'll just put this in.
Pays to keep your spares, huh?
Yeah, never throw anything away.
Uh-huh.
It's only 30% less power, so it's lost in the noise. It'll move air. The plug is different. I guess I have some work to do. I got to mount this in. I'm going to use the same bracket and just kind of put it on like that, because it's just moving air. It doesn't matter how it does it. And there we go. Fans all usually have this little set of arrows, which way it spins and which way it blows. So the air goes that way. Mounting the fan to the bracket. If the threads go far enough, or I need washers. No, that's good. That'll do. But first, let's see if it actually works. This fan's shot, and I don't want to change his plugs because I didn't ask his permission. This is a surprise. So I'm going to cut the end off the shot fan and wire that onto my fan so we can use the same plug, so nothing on the factory side changed. So if he ever wants to get, this exact fan, he's always just plug it in. Okay, very important. We don't touch those two. Do not cross the
Don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams. It's spinning. Dust is flying. And I can't hear the fan over the compressor.
Yeah.
I think
they're in harmony with each other.
Yeah, I think this is a fine success. Oh, they've got it blowing right on the hottest part. That makes perfect sense. And it generally is flowing air through the rest. Yeah, this is a fine repair. A fine repair. Proud of this. So we're going to solder it up properly and put it together and put the case back on and hammer one dent out that they had in it already, because since it's off I can hammer the dent out. And we'll be returning something better than we borrowed. And it got us through one night of absolutely, I wanted to go to sleep more than I wanted to fix a refrigerator.
You know what's crazy about this?
What's crazy about this, Emily?
This is like a 15-minute project that's actually going to take just 15 minutes. One of the ones that you say, this will be 15 minutes, and then 4 hours later, after you drop the screwdriver in the ocean, and you don't have the part, and you got to order it, and then you got to wait 2 weeks. So, good on you for keeping your spares.
All right. I'm going to get at the soldering. I'm using this just as a solder shield because I got 100 projects out. But this is interesting. I'm making this an option for the BankManager 3.0. With this component, the BankManager can be an AC-powered battery charger. So if you have a generator, whether it's 110 or 220 or whatever, this thing will charge your batteries or plug into the dock or whatever in a very interesting way, because it will charge the lithium at the lithium voltage, and then when the lithium's done, it'll go up to the lead voltage and do a whole lead cycle, and then come down to a safe float for everybody and bring everything back together. So that'll be interesting, but that's a project for another day. Crimp fittings are nice, but solder is forever. And I happen to have all the gear out, so why not do it right? That's it. These kits from China, these little deal, that whole kit was 25 bucks. It has everything you would need to solder except for this nice soldering stand. Came with a shitty soldering stand. But I gotta say, I'm happy with this little soldering iron, and it costs like nothing. I like the one on my lab bench at home better, but only marginally. Anyway, if you've got an inverter that can, like any inverter, you can have a soldering iron. Don't bother with DC power soldering irons and stuff. Just get an AC cheap one, a little inverter that you want for other things, and that makes a powerful tool to have around. Okay, put a little heat on that, and we're done.
Conrad would be proud.
Yeah.
I'll run the heat gun.
We need to start a generator. Who needs an inverter and a heat gun? Low-tech wins. Of course, there's a lot of black soot all over it. Probably end up getting dipped in wax, too. Little job like this is what we had while I was looking for what I wanted, so we're using that. That's it. This fan is ever so slightly less powerful than what was there, but being smaller in diameter, it's going to focus its blast right where it kind of needs to be, so I think all in all, it'll be about equal. The big thing is, it's 1,000,000 times the fan that wasn't working. That's a good thing. Yep.
Should we put little paper things on them, like in the store?
Ooh, you okay?
Yeah, like in the store, so it goes boo.
Yeah.
So you can see it working.
Flutter, 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 flutter. That'll drive them crazy.
I'm just kidding.
I know. They had jammed this into a wall or something at one time real hard and dented this. And I'm going to just tap it out. And in the spirit of using the wrong tools for the job, that's good. A couple of his screws were really seized up, so I had to use a special I bolster the screwdriver with a wrench, like I tell about doing in the simple hand tools video. And oops, I didn't lose it. If I hadn't have done that, I probably would have stripped the head, and then it wouldn't come apart ever again, forever. Well, it would, but you'd need doing some cutting. These Engels are really nice, and their swing compressor is a good technology, but they're made out of steel, and they rust. I've never seen one that's not all rusty, so you have to paint it all the time. But the other downside is they're really expensive. We did a review a while ago of a cheap Chinese one that we were pretty happy with, and it uses plastic parts because, you know, China. Well, they don't rust. So I kind of like it better, but what I really like better is this is like nearly $1,000, and that Chinese one was like 120 bucks or something. I don't remember, but it wasn't much.
It wasn't quite as big, of course. They have bigger ones for $300–400.
Okay, so maybe a third the price. That's significant, but you add to that the fact that it's not going to rust as bad, and I think you got something there. I guess this washer doesn't go there. We get a lot of requests for just like day in the life fixing a project. I can't tell you how many times someone says, I know it's nothing for you, Clark, but those little projects really I want to know about. Well, this is one of those little projects. Just to show you, this is basically filmed in real time. Except for searching for a couple tools. It's really nothing to do. It's just do it. And now this thing is maybe, I don't know, 10 or 20% more efficient. And just do it. Thanks for watching the video. Got links to other ones that are pertinent. I mentioned along the way. We'll probably put links to them down in the description. Tell me in the comments if you like these silly little projects, because we can roll film while I do them. I'm not going to produce the hell out of these things because, heck, most of the project is me doing this, not filming it. But if you'd like to see them, wouldn't be a big skin off our nose to turn the camera on. Fired it up. It's running. Thanks for watching the video, and thanks to Georgie and Larry for loaning us the device we needed and the time we needed. Friends are great. Bye from Dentist.